It's time for Making a Living with Maggie Mistel, one of the nation's best-known career coaches. Ready to soul search, research, and job search into your ideal career? Career Happy Hour starts now.
Hi, and welcome to Making a Living with Maggie. I'm excited to be with you this month, helping you learn something new when it comes to your career, helping you stay inspired, sharing what I'm seeing, what I'm up to, as well as bringing great guests, career tips, inspirational quotes, all again with the idea of helping you have that best career possible, live your ideal. That's really what it's all about. This isn't about settling or doing the mediocre. This is really about going for it. And I am seeing actually a strong desire of a lot of people to move forward. They're ready to move beyond old fears and old doubts and old limiting stories that they've been telling themselves. I feel this, right? I'm just ready to move beyond them. Like, why was I telling myself that? I don't want to believe that anymore. I don't want to buy into that story. And I have clients who tell me they're not buying into those stories anymore for themselves either. Those stories don't hold sway anymore. And it's great. It's actually really exciting. They're seeing the truth about themselves in terms of their gifts and talents, things that I'm often pointing out to people, like, that's a genius gift that you have, because everybody's a genius. It's really true. We all have a unique core genius, and it's the unique package of skills, experiences, talents, preferences. It's all those things. And I'll point out to them, like, that's not something everybody can do in the way you're doing it. You're a genius. And they're starting to see it too. They're starting to buy in to the fact that, wow, maybe they do have gifts and talents that are valuable, and maybe they are important, to be used and stewarded, right, in this life to help others or to solve problems that matter to them. And I'll tell you what's been really cool too is my clients are prioritizing their quote unquote crazy career dreams. That's right. How are they doing that? They're investing time, energy, and money to make their dreams a reality, right? Whether it's through working with me and taking steps, right? A new client I just started with, I'm so excited. We started by talking about what's been going on with her. And her challenge has been that those around her think she's got too much going on, right? She follows too many of her ideas. And she said, well, what's wrong with taking action on the ideas that I have? She's not quitting her job. She's not putting anybody else in jeopardy. She's investing in the ideas she has. And it made me think, I'm like, wow, what if you had an idea and took action on it? What if you did that? Think of the ideas you have in a day, right? Or a week or a month, or you've had all your life. What if you took action on it? Right? I know I've heard the stories where people had an idea and didn't take action, and then someone else had the same idea, took action, and was a big success. You hear those stories all the time, like, oh yeah, I thought about that years ago. And that's a great example of somebody who, wants to, tell themselves a limiting story, like, oh yeah, I could have done that, shoulda, coulda, woulda, missed it. Someone else took it. Well, guess what? If you're an idea person, and guess what? We all are. Going for those inspired impulses, or trusting in those inspired impulses to take you somewhere interesting and exciting and purposeful, is something you might want to start to believe and put in your story, okay? Even if, maybe your inner critic's already piping up saying, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea. You might jeopardize your career if you go and do something else. But your gut is really where you want to listen to. What does your gut say about it? Is your gut excited? Do you get butterflies in your stomach, right? Or get a good feeling, that good excited feeling like, wow, I get to do this. I get to take this kind of action. I get to create this idea that's been in my mind and make it a tangible reality. That's what's really cool. And again, I've seen many people who don't jeopardize their financial picture or aren't starving artists, right? They don't quit their day jobs, but they still invest in their ideas. In fact, they use the money from their job to invest in their ideas, right? Or part of it. And they create real events. They create real technologies. They create all kinds of things. And some of those things lead to new careers, other things they learn from. It's not a bad life to live, to follow your inspired impulses. And what I found with this particular client was there was something missing though, right? And that's why we're working together. Everybody needs some support at some time, and it's great to reach out. I just reached out to get some help myself. The soul search is about the inspired impulse, right? Paying attention to your genius, paying attention to these impulses that you get, seeing them as valuable, seeing yourself as valuable. And then you take action. That I consider that job search. Like to me, in my process of soul search, research, and job search is the action phase. There's an important piece in between, right? And that's research. So the proven process that I've developed is soul search, research, job search. Because that in-between component, the research, is what really bridges the gap between idea and reality and makes it a productive, pragmatic, even a way you can make a living. Right? Research is about talking to people who are already in and around the idea that you have. Maybe they've already tried it and you don't have to try it the same way. You can learn from them and try it differently, right? You can do that. You can research and you can find people, if you haven't already, networking, and there's all kinds of tools that we can use now online, LinkedIn, our own university networks. I was just checking out mine. Villanova University has a great online network where over 20,000 of us alums have opted in to be part of a network that's very much like a LinkedIn. And because we said we want to help each other. So you can find the people who are doing the types of things that you want to do and find out, look before you leap, right? And make your action even better. And perhaps not only create a new, fresh story for yourself because you're a creator now, you're creating from your ideas, but you're doing it in a way that you can perhaps even make a living from, or at least further that goal or that dream because it's been informed by your research. And I saw a clip on Instagram from one of my favorite authors, Dr. Wayne Dyer. He's been passed now for 8 years. I can't believe it. May he rest in peace. Wayne lived on Maui, so I know he is there in spirit helping people through that very challenging situation. And there's a clip I saw of Dr. Dyer saying that in the few minutes before bed, it's the most important time of the day because you can tell yourself anything you want to be true. And guess what? Your subconscious mind will take it in as you sleep. So when he went to bed, he said things like, I am well, I am healthy, I am content, I am peaceful. And I've started to do this too. I've started to say these things before bed. And a link to the video is in the show notes. You can check it out. And you too might want to consider telling yourself new stories when you go to bed. Plant those in your subconscious, right? You're the creator here, right? You could do that. And this is a great daily practice to become that creator who can trust their inspired impulses and who can research and take action on them in a really smart way. And speaking of daily practices that can help us remove old limitations, on today's show, I'm excited because my guest is a 30-year meditation coach from the Heartfulness Institute. He's also got a day job as a financial services professional. And what amazed me was how the story he was telling himself changed as he started to meditate. So you're going to want to hear that story. So stay tuned right here on Making a Living. And we'll have lots of great things, including a career tip and some great new events I've lined up for this fall. This month's career tip is all about recognizing and acknowledging your unique strengths. There you go. There's that genius again. And you're going to hear about a fun, exciting set of events I have for this fall that I'd love to get your feedback on. Love to hear what you think. Get involved. Think of your career as a chance to be that creator and bring those ideas into reality. Stay tuned for more right here on Making a Living with Maggie. After a successful retreat in Lisbon in 2019, I'm excited to announce the Soul Search, Research, and Job Search Florida Keys Retreat. Taking place in Islamorada, Florida, you can escape the daily grind and connect with like-minded individuals at this immersive retreat led by me, one of the nation's best-known career coaches, in an atmosphere of reflection and action. What awaits you? Discover the beauty of the Florida Keys while diving deep into your own career aspirations. The retreat promises a transformational experience featuring group workshops, guiding you through the proven soul search, research, and job search process. Expert guidance with one-on-one coaching to refine your path, personality pattern assessment to uncover your strengths and preferences, events and activities to help you experience the vibrant local culture, and practical tools, including a personally signed copy of Are You Ready to Love Your Job? Go to maggiemissile.com for the complete 5-day retreat itinerary, or click the retreat link in the show notes. Past attendees called this a truly exceptional experience, while others said it was powerful and the sense of community among like-minded individuals was truly priceless. Revitalize your career journey and join us for the Soul Search, Research, and Job Search Florida Keys Retreat. And if you can't make it in person, a 2-day online retreat is also an option. Take advantage of this opportunity to transform your career path and your life. Well, I want to welcome Satya, who works at Wells Fargo Advisors as Vice President, Investment Officer, and Senior Financial Advisor. While he is known for his expertise in finance and investments, he is also passionate about making a difference in the lives of others, serving the community, and making the world a better place. Welcome, Satya.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here, Maggie.
Yeah, my pleasure. I mean, changing the world or making the world a better place sounds good. So no small task, but we'll do what we can today. You and I actually met, Satya, through your volunteer work with the Heartfulness Institute. And I was impressed to learn that you've been meditating yourself for over 30 years and you're a certified meditation trainer. So what drew you to start meditating?
I started meditating when I was a teenager, like 19, 20. And I had a really crazy life. I was all over the place. And, like the way life throws stuff at you randomly. And, you have heartbreaks, you have disappointments, you have aspirations, you want to do stuff. Amid all that chaos, I had this feeling that there's more to life and there's something that I'm missing. It can't be that, black and white. There's something that I'm missing. And there's got to be something more. And I was always looking for tools to bring all of this chaos together so that I can better manage myself, because I always felt that I have a lot of potential and I feel that everybody has potential. And most of the time we are struggling with trying to get to that. The first order of dealing with things is the chaos in our life, there's all the stuff that's happening, bringing it all together and then mastering it or kind of getting on top of it enough so that it allows you to create space. So then you can ask that question that what is it that I really want? What do I really want to be? Is this what really matters to me? What really matters to me? So all these questions you would never ask if you're too busy, you're too busy in the maze of life, just trying to cope, right? Like
yes. Hamster in the wheel, right?
No time. So when you create that space, that's when you get a breathing room and then you are able to ask those questions. And why is it important to ask those questions? Because that gives meaning to our lives. And then when you pursue something that really matters to you, you get fulfillment from it, right? I can be really good at playing guitar, for example, and I could do rock shows. By the way, I was in a band when I was younger.
Cool. We're learning all about you today, right?
I had a band life, like crazy drumming, jamming way till 3 and 4 in the morning. And
really? Oh my goodness. That's awesome.
So I may be really good at guitaring or maybe good at drumming, and I may pursue that. And the world may reward me with more gigs and more opportunities and more fame and recognition. But that may not be what I really want. So I will get to that pinnacle of achievement and performance, and I'll still feel empty, or I'll feel something's still missing, or I won't really feel happy, and I'll keep looking for that. So that's why.
Where have we seen that before, huh? No, and I think we've all felt some of that, right? You end up winning a race that you're like, I don't even care about this prize, right? Like it's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So meditation helps you reconnect and get that space so you can really ask those deeper questions. And you started at 19.
Correct. Really young. I at the time when I started, I never thought of it this way. But it's a process. As you start meditating, you learn, you become more aware, and then you learn again from your learnings. And then as you start working with people, you learn the most, I would say. When you start Beauty is when you start working with people and helping them and serving them, you realize how much of more sameness we have than
Mhm.
differentness. So we are really more of the same, no matter which part of the globe. And Heartfulness is across 160 countries. So you get to interact with people from different parts of the world. The ambitions are same, the hurts are same, the disappointments are same, the expectations are the same, so we're very similar at the bottom of it all,
Yeah.
interestingly, right? Though we may articulate
Mhm.
ourselves differently.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, same wants and needs. So tell us about the Heartfulness Institute and what its mission is. I was very interested to learn about this organization when we connected. So tell everybody else what it's about.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's a global nonprofit. It operates out of about 160, 165 countries across the world. It's entirely run by volunteers. None of those people are paid. I'm a volunteer trainer. I don't get paid. We have, retreat centers. We have meditation centers, community centers. We don't charge. There are some parts. I think we've been able to do that in India, where we've got hospitals and educational facilities where we don't charge. We teach. Meditation is its forte. It's the main teaching. But apart from that, we are engaged with community, like how to how to grow planting of trees, for example, right?
Hmm.
And we provide the research and resources to them. We also
Wow.
encourage research and in trying to make the earth a green place, better rejuvenation of the earth, resources, renewable resources. So we're doing research and all of that stuff. It's a very wide,
Yeah,
Heartful
it's
is a
very
very
big scope.
wide
Mm-hmm.
scope, but its
Mm-hmm.
main forte is to train people in meditation and equip them with tools to lead better lives, to maximize their potential, right? And
Mm-hmm.
just imagine if 7 billion people start meditating, and we are all compassionate, we are all loving and more tolerant, more, let's say, more compassionate, more tolerant, more loving, more understanding, more willing to look at others from their point of view, more objective, the world would be a more peaceful place. There'll be less tension. Today life is tough. People don't trust each other. There is so much of, polarization. We are all divided in so many ways, and it doesn't take much to spark that division. You see, so and then the more we start realizing what we really want, there's a more chance for fulfillment, and the more fulfilled we feel, the happier we will be. So, Heartfulness Institute's main goal is to equip people with tools and strategies for wellness, to be better people and be more complete human beings, I would say.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I was excited to learn about it. And you kind of put your own spin on it in a blend, unique to you and your experience. You say that you draw on your meditation, your work, your life experiences, and you teach meditation, inspire and coach people on their personal growth and transformation journeys. That's something obviously we share in common. What benefits have you seen from teaching meditation, both to yourself and to others?
All right. So, in terms of myself, I think it opens your mind up. You learn things about the way people operate and the way people engage with life, and there are so many lessons for yourself that come out of it. I think the biggest thing is that it humbles you. When you work with people, you really get humbled. I began with thinking oh my God, life sucks. This is so tough. Why me? All that stuff. And as I started working with people, I realized that, hey, this is nothing unique. And I met people who were dealing with far more challenges that were far more significant in their life. It's far more significant outcomes. And I was like, really, I have no excuse not to smile. That was one of my learnings, that, hey, you know what, every day, let me enjoy every day completely, fully, because look at what others are dealing with, and they're still able to smile. I have absolutely no excuse. So that is one thing.
That's a really good lesson to learn, right? That's a
That-
wonderful perspective.
yes.
How
And
about
for
others? What have you seen in them? Have you seen transformation on their, you said transformative journeys. I'd love to hear about some of the transformations.
Yes. So what meditation is like watering a seed in a pot. You take a pot, you put a seed, and then you just keep watering it, nourishing it with sunlight, air, and water. It's the same process over and over again, and that creates transformation from a seed into a sapling, into a little twig, into a little, plant. You're patient enough, it grows into 1,000 feet oak tree, right? So enormous outcomes, very simplicity, simple inputs, consistency. That's what meditation is. So what outcomes I've seen with people is, as they begin meditating, first they come into this meditation with chaos, right? With all kind of chaos happening, stress, anxiety,
overwhelm.
And as they start sitting down, at first it's tough to sit down to meditate. But once they start creating that space, they learn the art of meditation is to create space. That's what we're trying to do. So, and it teaches you to be patient and waiting and patient with yourself. So as they start creating space, they start feeling empowered, because when you create space, you start feeling choice. So if someone's coming at me, and if I'm really a reactive person, I'm going to react the way I would always react. So if I'm an aggressive person, I'll react aggressive. And guess what happens to the conflict? It just escalates from there. If that person is aggressive, boom, 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 it gets crazier, right?
Right.
But if I'm able to create space and I'm able to see, okay, what's happening? What's the best course of action? What should I do that'll improve the situation? Because why improve it? Because it improves my experience too. So what should I do? And so now you're coming from a place of choice. You're empowered. You feel a sense of control. You feel independence. As you develop this muscle of creating space and choice, you start feeling that you can shape your own destiny. Because now the world is a blank canvas, and you can paint what you want on it.
Yeah, you're not beholden to old patterns or
Exactly.
the old stories, right? And actually, as much chaos as there is, it seems that I think it's always a good time to let go of the old stories, but it seems like it's a big deal now. Are you finding that as well? Are you finding it's a big deal for people? They really want to move on from some of these old stories that maybe no longer serve them?
Absolutely, you're right. And as a coach, you probably understand this, that transformation or change requires action, right?
It helps, yeah.
But how do you get to their action if you are all up in it in your mind and you're preoccupied? So yes, and I've seen that. And the other thing is, this whole digital world comes at us. Earlier,
constantly, unless you turn it off, like we did before this interview, right? We're like, oh, let's make sure we shut off the technology that wants to come in and talk to us.
Right, but the funny thing is, even if you turn it off, like you put yourself on silent, Apple allows you to send notifications still.
Yeah, that's true. It says, do you really want to send this?
Right. So it's like, no.
So what do you suggest, or what do you see, with the technology? That's another layer to it now. Does it make this even more important?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. Because technology tends to make us, so a lot of people deal with this challenge where their sense of self-worth doesn't come from within. It comes from the likes on your Facebook or on your Twitter, or the number of followers, or what people say, or what are people commenting on my threads. So a lot of our sense of self-worth comes from external technology and platforms and people. Meditation, what it does is it creates that space. You start feeling empowered. You start making choices, and your sense of self starts coming from you. So then what happens is you are able to look at everything at face value. So if I'm, for example, walking down the street and someone yells at me a disparaging comment, right? I will look at the person and think, oh, that's his point of view. That doesn't make me bad. Doesn't make me any lesser. It doesn't hurt me. Doesn't upset me. I go along with my day unaffected. If I have an interview after that, I go in that interview with my
just as confident, right? Yeah, just as present. Yeah,
absolutely.
Not thrown off.
Exactly. And then eventually, through meditation, you start forming your own weather, in a sense, your internal weather, your internal climate. You decide how you feel, how you're going to feel about it. So everything starts becoming an input and a choice on how you want to handle it. So it kind of helps you navigate life, right? Because life is unpredictable, uncertain. You can never count on anything. I'm talking to you today. Tomorrow you might call my cell phone and find, oh, he's gone. no one can say how long you are out here, right?
Well, let's hope that's not the case, but I understand what you're saying.
So I agree. Yeah. My point is, life is not certain.
We don't know. Your point is, we don't know. There's no guarantee, right?
So make the most of it. Make the most of every moment. Live it completely. It's such an opportunity. Life is such an opportunity and a gift, right? And most of us, we are so. I did it myself too. Walking through, there was a time I used to walk through a garden with lots of flowers and roses, and I would be on my phone like, man, why going on? And I would pass that to go and catch a bus. And the thing is, one fine day I was like, this thing was not working, and I was like, I miss this all for so many days. Right. And that was the time when I was moving my home. So I knew I'm not going to have that.
Right. Yeah. You're not going to have that walk anymore. So you literally stopped to smell the roses?
Yeah.
Still good advice, right?
Absolutely. And this is something we do always. We are always living either in the past that, why didn't I do that? My God, that opportunity I missed. If I had spoken to her, if I hadn't spoken to her,
right. Beating ourselves up for what we did or didn't do
in the past, or we are living in the future. Like, okay, what's going to happen? Oh my God, I don't know. Will I get that job? Will I get that loan? What will happen? What if she says yes to me? What if she says no to me?
Right. What if I get that opportunity? What if I don't get that opportunity? Right? Yeah. So it's not a good place to live, right? The opposite.
Future, but not in the present. And meditation brings you right there in the present. Like I'm talking to you right now, but I have a gazillion things going on that have gone wrong in the morning, right? But from my face, you can't tell. But I've had things that have gone wrong, and that's a few of them have severe outcomes. But by worrying about it when I'm talking to you, what can I do about it? Nothing.
Well, I appreciate you making the time. I didn't realize. I know you had passion for this, and now I really see the priority. No, that's wonderful advice. If you could give us just a little tidbit of something people could do if they want to try it, like what would you recommend if people just wanted to give meditation a try? I know you do a much broader training program. I'm sure it's much more involved. Is there even one small thing people could do to maybe create this space?
Yes. So in the resources, I've given a link for an app. It's a free app. It's a Heartfulness app. It's downloaded. If you search it on your Android, iOS, you'll find it. Download it, and there are free sessions. Try a relaxation session. That'll be really cool because it kind of really helps you unwind and, just take all your anxiety and stress away. Try a
Sounds great.
Yeah. And choose a 5-minute meditation exercise on that. That will.
What kind?
A 5-minute. It'll allow you to choose. It'll allow you to choose how long you want to meditate. So choose.
Oh, okay. A shorter one. Start shorter.
Start shorter. Start with what you can. When initially, I found it very difficult to sit to meditate. So what I used to do is I used to put the coffee to heat in the microwave 2 minutes. Like I would just put it in to heat it. And I would, till the ting of the microwave.
Oh, really? You meditate.
Yeah, that kind of helped me because I have a hyperactive mind. And for me to settle down was tough. But yeah, if they take that app, download that app. And we have a daily 7 a.m. session for new people through Zoom.
Oh, cool.
If you want to experience a meditation, we have it's a 30-minute session. We keep it crisp because everybody's going to work after that. 7 to 7:30, we are done. And most of them are new. So it'll be a good way for people to kind of get kind of the experience of meditation.
Well, Satya, thank you for helping us today understand the power of meditation and how, as professionals, we can, like you said, blend the things together and just create better quality of life. It sounds really great, and I'm glad we connected. So thanks for your time today.
Thank you for having me. I love being here. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Keep smiling, right? Now that we've heard from Satya, it's time for your career tip. This one is about recognizing and acknowledging your unique strengths. We all have talent. In working with thousands of people through my coaching practice, podcast, and speaking, I can say with confidence that every one of us has unique strengths. But sadly, many of us do not acknowledge these strengths or even believe they are special and unique. I hear comments such as, "It's so easy, anyone could do what I do." But the reality is, your natural talents do not come naturally to everyone. You have a unique set of skills and experiences and your own special niche no one can replicate. You're a unique genius. So it's important to understand your unique strengths. How do you do that? 1. Make your list. Grab a pen and paper or create a new note on your device and start a list. What do you believe you're best at doing? Start with skills that you utilize each day at work or at home. If you're struggling, review recent performance reviews. Think about activities easy for you, or even go back to academic topics in which you excelled. Write down whatever comes to mind when you think strengths. Even if you think others could do what you do so well, trust that maybe you're special and talented. Write these down. You can also ask at least 3 others to list your top strengths. Many of us tend to be modest. That's why it's critical to ask others for their input on your strengths list. Make sure to ask people who know you well, from friends and family to colleagues to classmates. If you only ask 3 people, try to make them someone you know socially, someone from your family, and someone you've worked with. Send a simple email asking, "What do you think are my best skills, abilities, and talents?" You may be surprised at their answers, but I suspect they will confirm what you already know deep down inside. Add these to your list. Next, identify your transferable strengths. When changing careers, people often fear starting over because they do not have the skills or education for the new career. Relax. Yes, certain jobs require certain credentials, but many skills are transferable across industries and fields. Things like leadership, communication, project management, relationship building, and customer service are key skills in all types of organizations, large and small, for-profit, nonprofit, or government. Make a mark next to all your strengths that might be transferable into a new field or industry. When you start looking at your strengths in this way, you often see, as my clients do, that you have more transferable strengths than you realize. To hear more tips like this one, check out previous episodes of Making a Living with Maggie and purchase my book, Are You Ready to Love Your Job? Make a Great Living Through Soul Search, Research, and Job Search, available on Amazon, where it ranked number 1 as a new release in Job Search. Say that we've run out of time. Thanks for joining again. I'll be back next month. Here's a quote to keep you inspired from Tony Robbins. The real joy in life comes from finding your true purpose and aligning it with what you do every single day. Thanks for listening. I'm Maggie Mistel, your career coach, inspiring you to make a great living.
To understand more about how Maggie can help with your individual career needs and goals, contact her at maggiemistel.com or facebook.com/making a living with Maggie Mistel. Together we can all make a great living. Great living.